Hey there, it's Dave at No Recipe Required, and tonight we're doing chicken, not your boring, ordinary chicken, of course. You're gonna find, I've got some chicken thighs and some chicken breasts. Now, I'm treating them really simply. You're gonna just salt and pepper, sear them off on both sides. For those thighs, they got skin on. You get the skin nice and crispy and brown, adds an awesome amount of flavor. The breasts are for those in my family that don't really like the thighs, but we'll also get them kind of golden brown, really develop the flavors there. But you're gonna find one of the ways to make chicken interesting is through other side dishes. And what I'm gonna show for you tonight is a version of Spanish rice. I guess it's a chorizo rice, which I make. It's absolutely wonderful. We throw a little bit of Spanish chorizo in there, render it down, get some of the flavor out, and so it kind of seeps into the rice as it cooks. Add a little parsley at the end, some onions and garlic cook in there. Tiny touch of tomato. It's absolutely gorgeous looking rice and it tastes phenomenal. I think you're gonna love it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on our chorizo rice. I'm gonna go with just a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and then I've got some chorizo kind of salami. This is the Spanish style chorizo. I'm gonna add it in there, and that was what, a quarter cup? And I'm just going to let it render down over medium heat, let some of that fat render out, which is going to be a tremendous amount of flavor for us. Okay, so after just 7 or 8 minutes, that chorizo is going to render down. You're going to get this absolutely wonderful kind of orange, red colored olive oil, which is that flavor of the chorizo. And I'm going to add kind of half a yellow onion in there and a clove of garlic, which I pretty finely diced. And I'm just going to let this come up to temperature and then cook until the onions become nice and translucent and just getting soft. And we'll come back, we'll add a couple final ingredients as well as our rice. Once our onions are softened up, you're gonna add about a tablespoon of tomato paste in there and just stir that in. And you wanna let it kind of brown and caramelize for just a few minutes, a minute or so. I'm also gonna hit this with a little bit of salt because we haven't done so. A little bit of fresh ground black pepper. And then we're going to add our rice. Now, the one thing I like to do with the rice is toast it in the pan with that chorizo and oil, onion, garlic in there, and just kind of get it nice and coated. Again, just go for like a minute or so, stirring to toss it around. We can turn the heat up a little bit to kind of medium-high. And once this goes for a couple minutes, you can see how beautiful, what nice color that rice is going to turn out to be. We're going to hit it with the water. Follow the ratio on the package instructions. Mine was a cup of rice to 2.5 cups of water. And we're just going to bring this up to a simmer, cover it, and cook it until the rice is nice and tender, but still a little bit al dente. Covered, probably going to take about half an hour or so. Perfect time to cook our chicken. So my rice has about 15-20 minutes left to go. I just pulled my chicken out. I'm going to let it come up to room temperature. And you got to salt and pepper both sides. You can do this right before you put it in the pan. Now, I'm using some chicken thighs, skin on. It's my absolute favorite cut for this recipe, although, really anything does. And I've got a couple chicken breasts here. If you got people in your family, like I do in mine, that don't dig the thighs as much, you can just do some breasts right alongside. I'm going to treat them basically the same way. The only thing is with the skin on pieces, the thighs here, you want to do the skin side down first. Make sure that skin gets nice and crispy, rendered out, so it doesn't become rubbery, flat, and flabby. Okay, let's go ahead and cook off our chicken. I got a good hot pan here. You can see a little bit of smoke there, which is totally what you're looking for. We've got our chicken thighs here. And I'm going to add them, like I said, skin side down, because you want that skin to render out and get nice and crispy. I'm going to lay them all down, start with the biggest one, and my pan is actually looking a little crowded, but we'll be able to manage. And key with this chicken, just like just about every chicken, almost every seared meat like this, you just want to let it alone, let it go on medium-high heat for at least 3 or 4 minutes until it gets a nice golden brown color. Like I said, that skin is rendered out. Okay, so after about 5 minutes or so, you should start seeing the edges around the chicken turning opaque, and that's going to tell you it's about time to turn it over. Now you still want to guard against kind of undercooking the skin. I'd say That's quite not brown enough to where I want it. So I'm just going to turn it back over. We'll let it go for another couple minutes. Maybe I'll check another one. That's getting there a little bit closer. But I think it needs another 2 or 3 minutes on that side before we turn it over. Okay, let's go ahead, flip over our chicken. That's what I'm talking about, nice and brown. You just felt the skin, you know, it feels nice and crispy. We're gonna get it all turned over, even these breast pieces. And since we cooked it about 3/4 of the time on that first side, we're only gonna need about 5 minutes or so on the second side. Okay, so you wanna make sure your chicken is cooked through, obviously, 160 degrees internal. I know this one is just by feel, but if you want to, you go ahead and use a meat thermometer. Pull them off the pan, let them rest for a few minutes before we serve them up. Just the amount of time we need to finish our rice. Okay, so we've got our rice cooked through. You want to give it a taste. Make sure it's cooked through and not bullet. It's also now the time, if you want to adjust the seasoning at all, you can go ahead and do it. Ideally, you get the salt and pepper in there early, but better late than never. And you want to do it now because we're going to add about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley in there, just to add a little bit of color. And use a fork to just gently, you know, fluff that rice up. And then we're good to go to serve this up. Alright, we've got our chorizo rice here. It's awesomely flavored, wonderful, and delicious. If you want, you can throw in, like, I sometimes throw black beans in here too. All kinds of different things. Corn is great too. I've got a little asparagus I'm serving ours with. And then we'll take our chicken breasts and thighs and just stack them around as well. If you got any juice like that, don't pour it on the chicken skin, because that'll kind of make the skin a little bit flabby. But over the rice is going to be absolutely awesome. And I think you're going to love this. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. Holy cow, you made it to the end of the video. Hope you saw something you liked. Hope you try this recipe. If so, throw something in the comments. Let me know how it turned out. And you know what? I put videos up every week, sometimes twice a week. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. Click this little button right here. It should be somewhere around my fingers. And you'll get updates when I post new videos. You can comment, you can enjoy. We can all learn to cook better. I'll see you next time.